welcome to the Golden Hour and the Manifest to Live Life Golden podcast. I'm Golden Duffy, your host, and I am super excited to be here today. It's all about power today. It's all about how we feel powerful. It's all about how we exude our power in the universe. So I'm going to make some pretty profound statements today, some pretty robust statements today, and I need you to come with me on this, okay? I need you to understand, to really integrate and really feel what I'm giving to you today. I'm giving you a very beautiful, powerful gift today. You are in a place right now, you are in the most perfect place for creating the life that you desire. Right here, right now. I don't care how you feel. I don't care what's happened in the past. I don't care where you're sitting. You are in the most profound place for creating, especially if you're listening to this, because you already are a powerful creator. You are already the best you can possibly be at manifesting. And how do I know this? I know this because you're manifesting all the time. Because of the law of transmutation of energy, energy is always moving. It's always moving, always creating, always becoming. And up until now in your life, you have created everything. Everything that you have evidence of has been your own personal creation. Now, I understand that might be hard to hear. That might be hard to accept. That might be hard to ingest, right? Especially if your life is not an indication of what you want it to be. You got to take some personal responsibility here. When we take personal responsibility, that's when we start becoming the powerful creators that we are. Because if we don't take personal responsibility and we're living in victimhood, we have absolutely no power. We give all of our power away to our past, to the people around us, to circumstances, to the government, to the whole thing. In order for us to be the powerful creators that we are, we must take full responsibility for everything we are seeing, for all of the evidence in the universe, the good, the bad, and the ugly. But the good news is, if you are in a position where things are not great, where things are not, what you want them to be, that's why you are in the perfect position for change. I'm going to go to the basics today. I feel I have a lot of new listeners, and I feel like it's really beneficial to go back to the very beginning of the roots of manifesting and how I understand it, because I feel like I'm able to explain it in a way that helps to simplify it. I think there's a lot of overcomplication when it comes to law of attraction and universal law and us becoming these super powerful manifestors. One of the biggest things that may trip you up, that may keep you from really manifesting strongly in the desire of what you want, is that tiny little, really quiet belief underneath that you don't have it figured out, that you don't know how to do this, that you have to, go do another program or read another book, or all those things are good. Programs are good. This show is great. My book is great. I've got a lot. Oh my goodness. I've sent out so many books this week. Thank you so much, all of you who have purchased and had interest in what I've written. It's very exciting for me to be able to write personal messages. If you are interested, you just send me $20 to my Venmo and your address, and I will send a personal message. I write every single one of them out myself. I really think about you. I really tune into your energy field, and I send a message to you. That book, Mindful Manifestation Secrets, is my baby. It's like what I did to actually manifest the dreams of my life, which I am living. And it was the power that we needed to step into and to create that leap of faith. That book outlines the whole thing, the miracles that happened, and the exact steps that you need to put into place to understand how this universal law works. So if we were to go back to the beginning, back to the basics of manifesting and how it is true that you are the most powerful manifestor right now, right where you sit, we have to go back to the very beginning. So the very beginning of when you first came into the world, right? Your eyes opened, you started crying, you wanted to go back, you were like, what am I doing here? This is insane. This is scary. And there was a massive forgetting, right? You forgot who you were. You had to relearn things. You had to learn how to walk. You had to learn how to talk. You had to, take demands and commands from other people. And you had to learn and navigate exactly how to be a human on this earth and be in relationships with people. Relationships are our number one most important way that we structure manifestation. Relationships, yes, relationships with others, relationships with ourselves, relationships with the universe itself. As we learned, as we grew, as we experienced traumas, as we experienced wounds, as we experienced delight and joy and excitement, powerlessness, unworthiness, all of the things that we experienced up until now became part of our manifestation blueprint. They became part of the belief systems that we took on that made us decide whether or not we were worthy in the world, whether or not we were powerful, whether or not we could do what we say we wanted to do or become who we say we wanted to be. Many times what happens is over the course of time, we create from belief systems that were, given to us at a very early age. Between the age of 4 and 7, most of our belief systems are formed. Once we really bought into those belief systems, we then created from those and saw evidence of them. We also had wounds and traumas and things that definitely call our attention to heal. But if we don't call our attention to heal, we may live from those wounds. We may, navigate life in such a way where we keep forgetting who we are. I am one. I am one. I have that. I definitely have that. I have challenges with, I would say I'm really working on this. And this past year has been major evidence of the love and support for what I'm doing in the world. But I still have moments where I question, what am I doing? Why am I here? Every day, every single day, I wake up with a very powerful message inside of me that I cannot keep to myself. And I share that on my Facebook page. If you're not Facebook friends with me, look up Goldyn Duffy, GOLDYN DUFFY. I share that because I feel like this is my work in the world. My work in the world right here, right now, is to remind you that you are the most powerful manifester possible. Because you came here. You came here for this. You came here to expand and grow from experiences that potentially made you feel less than or powerless or unworthy so that you could rise up and heal and become more from them. Okay? So as you're rising up and becoming more, oftentimes people get stuck in these lower fields of vibration, these lower fields of manifesting, because it's like a loop. Because as you believe, so you create. As you believe, so you create. As you create, then you believe. So it just solidifies those beliefs. And this is why it's never a good idea to try to talk somebody out of what they believe, because they have so much evidence of what they believe. Now, we can plant seeds. I'm a big fan of planting seeds, but know your audience and know that when you are, especially if you're new to manifesting and you're super excited about it, you may come from a very passionate place, which a lot of times I have definitely lived this, where I kind of tried pushing my message on people that weren't ready to hear it. And that can blow people right out of the water. It can explode your relationships. Like, it's just not a good place to be. So living it, being a living example of manifesting and being powerful is better than trying to put it on other people or trying to give people advice that they're not looking for. Been there, done that, over it. All right. So you are already as powerful a manifester as you are ever going to be. The question is, what are you manifesting? What are the beliefs that are holding you in limitation. Maybe you don't have any. Maybe you're living a very unlimited experience and you're just watching this show for fun. I love that. That's awesome. Share that with me. I want to hear what you're manifesting, because manifestation is one of those things. One of the things, it's like the buzzword now, right? Like everybody's into manifesting and everybody wants to know about law of attraction. And for me, I've been studying this for about 15 years. The depth of it is so spiritually based. In fact, my next book that's coming out, I'm very excited about this next book, is completely spiritually based, and it's the spirituality of manifesting. I've never done a book like this before. I'm usually more connected to the science, and I always share that meditating is a great way to clear your slate so you can actually step into that worthiness that you are. But to spiritually speak about manifesting is to talk about our partnership with the universe, God, source, whatever you like to call it. It's about being a powerful co-creator on this journey versus if it's to be, it's up to me, or if I really want something, I have to beg God for it. Been there, done that, lived that for a long time, and it never made sense to me. It never made sense to me that God would be playing puppet with my life. And that's where the seeking began. I began a very deep search into myself, into my own spirituality, into the science of manifesting, and how does this life work? How can I make this life work to my absolute optimal benefit? And how can I help others, assist others? You don't really need my help, but this is the thing. We all need assistance in shifting, even me. Even me. So if you're feeling super powerful, if you're at a place in your life where you're not feeling very powerful, I still have moments. I had a moment yesterday. It didn't last very long, thank goodness, because the universe just kind of delivered me up a wonderful session with Michelle Robinson, who was on my show a couple of weeks ago. I'm working with Michelle, and she is reminding me who I am. I had a low moment, and we just got back into it, and we looked at the underlying belief systems of my childhood, of not being loved, of not being supported, of being abandoned at many times during my life, from family, from friends, from situations that actually I was put in danger several times. So my sense of security was really messed with. So it's going to take some time for me to really heal that. And I've been working on it for so long. I'm just like, oh, the layers. But the thing about the layers is, you don't necessarily have to deal with the layers if you're really good at mind training, if you're really good at emotional intelligence. If you can look at an emotion, if you can look at a thought that's driving an emotion, and you can say, I don't want to feel this way anymore. I don't want to create this in my experience anymore, then you're winning. So let me go back for a second, because I want to go into the basics of manifesting so you understand the root, that formation. So you're born, right? You're born into this experience. You have all these different moving parts, people, teachers, relationships, friendships that end. You have heartbreaks. You have really fantastic moments in your life where you're on top of the world, where you feel like you're succeeding. And then you have moments maybe that you deem as failures, or, maybe you've created some resentments. All of those things are still in your experience. They're still alive in your experience because you lived through them, and they can be activated at any moment. That is what I like to call a trigger. So if we start at the beginning, we have thoughts, right? Like, so many thoughts. I think it's like 70,000 thoughts a day. Seriously, so many thoughts a day. And if you are not a practicing meditator, I'm going to really implore you to do this. 10, 15, 20 minutes a day, quiet your mind, find a way, do a guided meditation on YouTube, put yourself in quiet, do some breathing exercises, find a way to disconnect from that monkey mind, from that mind that just keeps going and going and going and overthinking and overanalyzing. The mind, I like to call it paralysis of analysis. That's what happens when we overthink things to the point where we don't end up doing the things that we say we want to do. Did it for a long time. It actually took us 4 years from the time that I really wanted to move from the East Coast. We lived in Connecticut, born and raised, to California, West Coast, Orange County. So beautiful, such an incredible move, such a huge leap of faith. It took us 4 years to really formulate the trust and the faith. And even at the end of those 4 years, it was a massive leap through our fears and a massive leap into faith that actually had us create and connect with the dream that we had for a long time. I think I actually had a dream to live in California like my whole life. Seriously, I don't know where it came from. I don't know why, but what I do know is that I am in the perfect place to assist others in living their dream. Maybe that's all it was really about, was disconnecting with that energy of living somewhere where I didn't want to live anymore and being in a place where there's sunshine and ocean and palm trees and flowers. And we've had a lot of rain this year, and the green hills, whoo, the green hills. It's like Ireland here. It's so beautiful. Now, I don't say that to make you jealous. I say that to show you what is possible. We had no jobs. We had a pile of money that we had saved up. We had no house, no connections. We had like one person here who let us stay in their house for like 10 days. It was literally just a leap of faith that the universe came in and supported us and co-created with us. Was it easy? No, it was not easy. It was very, very big. It was very, very expansive. I wouldn't call it hard. I would just call it a challenge. We met a challenge, we rose above it. So as you have a thought, as you have a feeling, maybe it's a dream in your heart, maybe it's a dream you've had for a long time. You have that thought, you have that feeling. Now it's going to be backed up by belief systems, right? And those belief systems, those thoughts connect with your emotions. Emotions are energy in motion. I know I've talked about this before, but I have to say it again today. I don't know why. It's come through. This wave right behind me is a good indication of how energy works. So basically, as you have that thought, as you have that feeling and that belief, your energy is going to come out like a wave. And as that wave comes out, it begins to break down and becomes physical matter. And soon enough, you will see evidence of it. If you are not seeing evidence of it, there is something in that energy field of that wave that is blocking it, that is keeping you from connecting with it. That's the only thing that ever stops manifestation. Well, there's two things. One thing is you have a belief that blocks it, that you don't really connect or align with it, or you have not activated the energy of it, which also goes along with your belief. Like if you actually believed that you were going to do something and go somewhere and become someone, you would have action a part of it. We can't just sit around and wait. When we sit around and wait, we weight the energy field. We make the energy field super dense, and then energy doesn't flow in our favor. So getting back to manifestation, as you do this. Now, the interesting thing about manifestation is that they have done scientific experiments on how energy moves and how energy works. And based on what the scientist believed is what actually is created. So they have proven that energy works in different ways depending on the scientist. So that tells me that the signal that we are sending out is what really matters. That signal that that scientist is sending to that experiment actually makes that experiment come out a certain way. That's actually really good news. And that makes us super duper powerful, because that means that anything we're doing, our energy signal is creating it. We get to determine outcomes based on how we think, feel, and believe. Now, if this is not good news to you because you're like, oh Lord, I don't have any control over my mind and my emotions are super out of control, I hear you. I've been there. Some days I can still be there. I think this full moon has caused a little bit of funky energy. And yes, I will blame things on the planet if I feel like I need to, if I feel like it's necessary, if I feel like I want to give myself a little break, right? It doesn't mean that I'm being a victim. It's just like, oh, okay, so I had some anger yesterday and this new moon may be bringing up some anger. Cool. I can deal with that, right? But as far as emotional intelligence goes, it's all about mind training, because mind training is the basis of where your emotions come from. It's the thoughts that you tune into. It's what you believe that you tune into. It's what you are creating already in your life that is solidifying the evidence to you. It's good news, people. It's really good news, because if you are day one of this journey of like, holy cow, I'm a powerful manifestor. Like, if you're just coming to this information and you're like, wow, I get to choose, that's really good news for you. If you've been at it for a while, it's even better news for you, because now it's just the fine tuning of it. It's the intricacies of it. It's the paying attention to what your attention is on. Where am I spending my time? What am I tuning into? What am I projecting in my life? Oftentimes people have trouble tracking things because they'll go, well, I was feeling fine and then somebody cut me off and I freaked out. And it's like, well, then you weren't really feeling that fine. Because if you were feeling like, if your vibration, and I get into vibration in a second, if you're aligned with happiness and joy and freedom, somebody cutting you off would just make you go, oh, wow, he must be in a hurry. Road rage is one of those things, man. If you can get a hold of road rage, mastery, baby. It's one of those things that we get we tend to be very triggered about, because we're sharing the road. Think about this for a second. We're sharing the road with others. We're in relationship with people that we don't really know. We don't know what they went through this morning. We don't know if they ingested things. We don't know if they're fighting with their spouse. We don't know we don't know if they have a gun in their glove compartment. I mean, seriously, take this seriously. Other people on the road, when you calm yourself, when you come to the road and set intentions for your drive to be fun and lighthearted and put on great music, I'm going to get into music at the end of this, then your vibration is going to be different and you're probably not going to align with those people. And if you do align with them, it won't be that big of a deal, because you're not going to let somebody else determine how you feel, especially a stranger. I'm always like mystified how people can let a stranger, someone they don't know, someone they've never met, upset them to such a degree. You see it on Facebook all the time, right? People get super triggered on there. Why? Why do you hand your power over? Why do you give your power away? That's what you're doing anytime you're allowing someone to mess with your vibrational alignment. All right, so I'll just get into vibration really quick. So vibration, we all have energy. Everything is energy. Our vibration is conducted from our state. It's our mood. It's how we wake up in the morning. Now, when you wake up in the morning, it's your first get go at the day. You've already been in other states of consciousness while you're sleeping. So it's your first opportunity to set the bar for the day. So important. This is why I always implore people to meditate first thing. Because first of all, if you meditate first thing in the morning, you have a lot less going on. You're not answering emails. You're not on social media. Like, if you just come to the table very fresh, you're going to have a better opportunity of having a quieted mind. Once you get into that momentum of the day, it's a little harder to quiet it. So I get up early, part of that 5 a.m. club. Today was my first day back after a vacation. I got up at 5:30 and it was wonderful. It's like my quiet time. It's my tea time. It's my time with my cat. It's my meditation time. It's the time that I post. It's precious time to me. So get up earlier if you can. If it matters to you, what kind of vibrational alignment you're setting for the day. If you wake up in the morning and you're running late, or you've snoozed too many times and you're dragging yourself out of bed and you're dreading the day, you are setting the vibrational alignment for dread, for a day that kind of sucks. And personally, I don't want to live my life like that. I absolutely don't. Now, if you're working a job that you really don't like, or you're in relationships with people that you really don't like, or you live in a house where it's like kind of stressful in the morning, I'm going to tell you right now that you have all the power to change all of that. Every single thing in your life has the power to change because you have the ability to change your perspective. If you can change your perspective about your job, about your spouse, about your kids, you can change everything because what you are vibrationally aligning with comes from you. It comes from your thoughts. It comes from your feelings. It comes from your beliefs. Once you transform those, and it's going to take a little bit. It takes a little bit to change the momentum on things. People aren't just going to flip the switch for you because you already have momentum going with them. But if you can look for all those things that are really good, that you really appreciate, that you really love, then you will win. So if your job is that terrible, then I would start making a list of things that you would like to manifest in your next job. And there is no such thing as bondage in this world. There is no such thing as being imprisoned in this world. The only prisons that we have are self-imposed prisons, unless you're in a prison, an actual prison. Unless you're in jail, you don't need to put yourself in jail because we can always move. We can always move locations. We can always move jobs. We can always move relationships. We can always, always, always be at choice if we believe we have the choice to change, if we believe we have the choice to create something new, something different. And that is good news. Now, if thinking about quitting your job scares you, I don't want you to do that. I don't want you to do anything in fear. What I want you to do is start planting the seeds of that. If I had a different job, what would it be? If I could do anything that I wanted and that I loved, what would it be? And then start making a list of those things. Maybe go on some job sites, maybe just start playing around, researching, entertaining the idea. Because when you entertain an idea, what are you doing? You're paying attention. And attention grows, right? Attention grows. Wherever you are focused, your attention is going to grow. So then the universe goes, oh, all right, cool. You want a different job. Let's just move some things around. Let's orchestrate. I love universal orchestration. It's like my favorite thing in the whole wide world. Let me just orchestrate here for you so that you can actually find this opportunity. This opportunity can show up for you and you can say yes. But there must be some sort of activation. That's what trips people up. They think they can sit there and wish and hope and dream, and that conduction is not strong enough. You're not going to get a strong enough wave for things to become physical matter. Because if you really believed that you were about to manifest something, you would be doing stuff. You would be in some sort of action. And I'm not talking about desperate action. I'm just talking about like having fun with it, being inspired about it, doing things for the fun of it. We recently decided that we're going to be moving soon, and there's been some issues in the house that we live in. And so for funsies, I love calling things funsies, we've been looking, we've been entertaining, we've been clarifying. And I'm going to tell you, haven't found what I want yet. And that's okay. That's okay. It's this space that really matters, right? The space between what you want and it manifesting. It's this space that really matters. So right now I could get super bummed out. I could get really disappointed. I could say there's no houses out there for us and the prices are insane. I could do that very easily, let me tell you. But instead, I choose every day to decide that I am the most powerful manifestor I've ever been, that I ever will be, that I know how to do this, and that it's coming, that I can feel the excitement and the clarification of my desire. Because every house I've looked at that has been a disappointment is one that clarifies and makes my desire stronger towards what I do want. There's no settling. You do not have to settle. I am here to tell you that you do not have to settle. There is no settling. It's not allowed. It's not allowed. We don't need to settle anymore. We've done way too much settling in our life, right? Because of those wounds, because of those traumas, because of the things that you've experienced in life, you may have really limited your fields. You may have shut down your field, shut down your heart, shut down your experience because you're not in any sort of trust. You're actually being ruled by the mind that tells you to be safe in the same. right? Don't take chances. Don't take risks. Don't get in relationships with people. Friendship is overrated. If you've had some friendships end, I've had some friendships end recently, big friendships. It's okay. It's okay. Because I trust that vibrational alignment in my relationships is really important. And if a relationship is not feeding your soul, if it is not bringing you joy, if it is not making you want to be a part of it, then that needs to be looked at, because you are keeping yourself from the higher vibrational relationships that could love and support you and give you what you really deserve. So it doesn't mean we cut people off. It just means that we limit the time we spend with those who are not necessarily helping us to create joy. And you can do that. You deserve to do that. You are worthy of that. So that brings me to worthiness. Unworthiness is a big one. It's really a big one, especially if you've had traumatic things happen where you've been abandoned or people have passed away or you've had heartbreaks, divorces. Divorces are probably, next to death, I would say death and divorce, because divorce is like the death of a dream, right? You have this dream that you're going to marry this person forever, and maybe you created a family, and now it's ended, and maybe it didn't end well. And death is the same way. It's so final. It's like the death of a person in your life feels like something has been taken away from you. So you may shut yourself down. When you shut yourself down, you don't activate any more energy in the direction of that. I actually had, I was reading my current book that's about to come out any second now, as soon as I get it all edited and designed correctly. I have the cover, and the cover is good. The name of the book is The Perfect Unfolding for Your Soul's Expansion. And one of the things that I wrote in there was about music and memories and how music can evoke emotion. I'm super into music. You guys know this. Like, I'm going to share my story about music in a minute. So how music evokes memories, and how often music can actually bring up sad memories, right? It can bring up memories, or not, maybe not even sad memories, but memories of days gone by that you wish you could have again. Well, in that wishing, there is a desire. And in that desire it's ripe for the experience of manifesting that once again, maybe with someone else. So it creates part of the manifestation process of you listening to something, and instead of being sad, which slows the manifestation down or keeps this wave from actually becoming physical matter, if you were to sit there in gratitude and love and thanksgiving for being in that experience, for ever having that experience, instead of missing it, you feel gratitude for it, you will shift the energy field in your favor. And then you will have an opportunity to create it again in a different way. But it will be of the same vibration, or it will be higher. It won't be lower. It will be higher. If this is such an important part of this, if you can let the piece of missing that person go, or the regret or the resentment or whatever went with the ending of that, with the death of that, you will create it again. Because when something like that ends in our life, and it was something that we really enjoyed, or we really loved, or we really had a good time with, you have the ability to create that again even more powerfully, because you know what it feels like. You just have to tune back into the grateful feelings and the love in the experience of it. So good. So good. All right. So don't let your past shadow your present. I know we have things that happen, so we think, oh, we got to learn from those, and I'm never going to do that again, and I'm not going to play that again, right? The thing about that is you're dragging your past with you by allowing your past to negate your present, to keep you in limitation of your future. So letting the past go is simple as interrupting it. I learned my lessons. I'm awake now. I'm aware now. I'm not going to play that the same way. I'm going to allow myself to open my heart again, to be vulnerable again. And I'm in it for the experience because I know no matter how this goes, there's expansion and growth in it. And by keeping myself small and in limitation, I'm not experiencing the growth that I actually came here for. Yeah, you actually came here for the growth. You came here for the experience. You came here for the expansion. And because of that, your life is going to give you ways to step into your power again and again and again. And stepping in that power again and again and again is part of becoming more. It's part of becoming this incredible creator that you are, about knowing your power. We don't know our power until we overcome our powerlessness, until we step back into that worthiness, until we show ourselves that we are strong, that we are powerful, that we have the ability to manifest anything we desire. Something really important to remember: if you have a dream, if you have a vision, if you have an idea of what you want to manifest, it has to come, because you wouldn't be able to have that vision, that dream, or that idea of manifestation if you didn't have the ability to manifest it. I always find that like such good news, such good news. To get yourself there a little faster, you just have to keep pointing yourself in the direction of that, shifting yourself out of those low-level belief systems, meditating more, being in nature more, being in sunshine more, listening to better music, hanging out with great people where you can laugh and celebrate life. If you are in the density of life and life feels really hard, maybe you're at the end of winter. I don't know where you live. California it's been wintry. I'm not going to lie. It's felt like winter. I'm really over the rain. The sun comes out and I run out of my house. I really like sunny weather. But if you're in the snow and the density and the cold and you're just having it, you're just like, you're done with it. Take the time to meditate more. Take the time to slow down more. That's what winter's all about. Take the time to bundle up and go outside. It's not that cold. You can bundle up. I used to have one of those like masks that like you could just see your eyes, like those whole hood masks. And I would go out in below zero temperatures, bundled. And by the end of your walk, you're sweating, because nature is nurture. Think about that. Nature is nurture. If you can get out in nature, you can reconnect to your well-being. Nature is so, so important. I can't say it enough. We are losing connection with nature because of our phones, because of our computers, because we're inside all the time. It's really important to disconnect. On that note, I just want to say I announced a couple of times that I was going to be starting a community, an online community, and I have decided not to go through with that. And this is why. I don't want to be a part of you being on your phone anymore. And I don't want to be on my phone anymore, to be honest. I really want to be in people's energy fields, and I am out. I'm out speaking, doing live events. So that's where I'm going to focus my attention. I'm going to focus on getting this book out. I may do some online things here and there, but I'm not going to commit myself to a community where I have to be on my computer more. I may offer some meditations and teachings on the side, but after I really thought about it and really got honest with myself, I just don't want to. I don't want to. And I'm not here to do anything that I don't want to do. I really respect the fact that I have choice. And I love you all. And I love you all who helped me to formulate what I thought I was going to do in that community. And, hit me up if you are one of those people, and I'll send you a free gift because you did me a solid by spending time with me. But I am here for all of you. My posts are up every day. I have these shows. And I need to move forward with what my heart is calling me to, and that is live events. So I could be at a live event in your area sometime soon. Let's just manifest that. All right. All right. I have to share my weekend. So I'm doing this at the end of the show in case you really don't care. Then you can just turn me off. But this is Holy Mother of Manifestations, and you're going to get to see a little fangirl in me. I've shared many times that I am absolutely obsessed with the group The Elevators. It's Elovaters. They are a reggae band that has been around for a while, but I just discovered them. So within the last year, I've become pretty obsessed with their music, and I feel like it's very high vibration. Like their songs, their music shift me in ways that I am very interested in. It just puts me in a high vibration. It makes me want to celebrate life. It makes me want to sing. It makes me want to dance. I dance around my kitchen all the time. So we were considering going to Cali Vibes, which is like a 3-day festival. And then there was another consideration for going to Lake Tahoe. So we were going back and forth about this and trying to figure out what we wanted to do. Cali Vibes is a lot. It's a festival. It's 3 days. We went 1 day last year and it was exhausting. And so I decided, like, if I'm going to go see the Elevators, I don't want to see them for an hour. I want to see a show. Like I want to see them in their own energy and not have to deal with this crazy Cali vibe scene. So we actually manifested a show in Paso Robles, which is so funny because I had been noticing that they were doing these bar shows in Massachusetts. That's where they're from. And they still do these little intimate shows. And I was like, I am manifesting a show here in California that we can go to that's really intimate so I can connect with them and I can really be in that energy field of music where it's really up close and personal to me. So sure enough, they come up with this connection with Wine Boss. So they connected with Wine Boss, and look up Wine Boss. He's so cool. This guy, Tommy, he's so cool. He's connected with a lot of the artists and he's creating wines with them. So there's an Elevators wine. There's a Revolution wine. I saw him with Kevin, oh my gosh, Kevin Hart. Wow. Kevin Hart, he's done a lot of, I think, Pepper. He's done a lot of the different, K-Bong has his own wine. We bought K-Bong wine, which is Stick Figure, which is our other favorite band. So they created this event and it was only for 150 people. And it's this little wine place. And then they kind of have this little outdoor area in the back. So we go into town early because it's our anniversary on Valentine's Day. We celebrated 31 years married. And we go into Paso Robles early and we kind of get to know the town and we hang out a little bit and we kind of hung outside of Wine Boss and sized it up. And we're trying to figure out, like, where are they going to do the show and how is this going to happen? And we kind of sat on a park bench the day before, kind of pre-paving the whole situation in how we wanted it to be. So the night of the event comes, we get there super early. I think the doors opened at 6 and we got there at like 4:45 and basically stood. We were the first ones in the door. I was literally the first one to walk across the doorstep. And I rush in, go to the stage, and literally stand right in front of the stage. Now, for any of you who have this feeling towards a band or towards musicians or towards anyone, you kind of get a little giddy and you get really excited when you realize, like, I mean, these are people, right? They're people. They're just people. But they have incredible gift and incredible skill at elevating through their music. So I'm so like blessed and honored to be like right there, right in front of the microphone. Like my jacket is literally on the ground right in front of the soundboard. Like we are so close. If I was any closer, I would have been on the lead singer's lap. So the first person who comes out is Claire Wright. If you haven't heard of Claire Wright, it's Wright. She is a rock star. She is so beautiful and so fun and so peppy. They call her Sunshine, and she is literally sunshine. She comes through the crowd and gives me a huge hug. And I'm just like, what is happening? Like, what are we doing? We're all just friends, right? And she starts playing the most beautiful music. She has the most incredible voice. And I just love her. She's all about the ocean and the beach, and she's very lighthearted. And I just implore you to look her up. She was also at Cali Vibes, and she's been touring with Swayze. She's actually done quite a few songs with quite a few people, but her voice is just, it's angelic. It's absolutely angelic. So she plays so much fun. And then the Elevators come up and they start playing, and we are just like, we're just reaped in this music, and it's just so beautiful. And I'm just like, I'm thanking my lucky stars like every minute for just being part of this experience. It is so awesome. It was just so awesome. It was like literally something that like dreams are made of, right? So at one point, the lead singer's name is Jackson Weatherby, and these guys are just salt of the earth. They're East Coast. They're just beautiful people. They love their fans. They're good to their fans. They're not egotistical. They're just humble, and they're just doing what they love. So at one point, Jackson like leans into the crowd and puts his microphone out, and my husband kind of stabilizes him so he doesn't fall into the crowd. And they like grab hands and like kind of have a hug on the stage. And I was like, oh my God, such a good moment. Such an awesome moment. So the whole thing is like amazing. And we're right in front the whole time. And I'm just like, wow, this is so, so good. And then, they finish and we go in to buy our bottles of wine. And we actually had gotten a playlist that they were working off of. And my husband was like, we're going to get them all to sign this. So I'm like, all right, cool. And I'm getting pictures with everybody because I have done this before and I regretted not getting the pictures with people because I don't want to be like a fangirl. And I'm like, forget it. I'm getting pictures with people. This is part of the thing and I matter and I'm getting pictures. So we got pictures with everybody except for Nick and Matt because we got into conversations with Nick and Matt that were like, they were awesome. They were relationships. And we forgot to get pictures with them because we had such a good conversation. And then my husband actually talked to Jackson for a minute and I was like, I'm going to get a picture. So I went up to Jackson and I said, hey, can I get a picture with you? And he said, yeah. And I said, I just want you to know that I post in your group every day. And he steps back and he looks at me and he goes, you're Goldyn Duffy. And we started jumping up and down and screaming. You can see the picture on Instagram or on Facebook. It was such a moment. I'm crying right now just telling you about it because it was such a moment in my life. And we hugged like 4 times and I felt so much love. You can see the love in the picture. I felt recognized. I felt loved. I felt worthy. And it's crazy that another person can do that. But I said, thank you for accepting my posts every day because he goes, why wouldn't I go? You'd be surprised. Like sometimes my posts trigger people and they're just not ready to hear it. Or I've been accused of self-promotion, which is hilarious. I've been accused of selling things, which I'm like, okay, I'm selling positivity. So it was a moment. It was a moment in time that I will never forget. I was so high after. I was like, I cannot believe that we got to do this. And I manifested this whole thing. And of course, my husband is part of this. He is a master manifestor himself. And it was one of those moments I will never forget. And I was talking to this woman. We made all sorts of friends. Oh, the elevated ones, look on Facebook for the elevated ones. Start listening to the elevators, the community of people and the stick figure family, the stick figure groups. They're just an incredible group of people. It's just people who value the vibration of life. If you listen to the lyrics from the elevators or stick figure, you will see that they value life. There's a song by the elevators, and I think it's Tribal Seeds, and they sing Have You Ever? Oh, it's like one of my favorite songs. It's such a beautiful song. The lyrics mean something to me. The Ladder from the elevators. You Could Be the Ladder. Such a good song. So we made friends with a lot of people. And this one woman said to me, they had 7 children. Oh my God, she was awesome. She said, we're never gonna experience this again. And I was like, I don't want to believe that. I want to believe that this is a trajectory, that I'm on a trajectory to experience this all the time, to be with high vibrational people, listening to high vibrational music, and be in the energy field of these bands, no matter where they go, no matter how famous they get, no matter what, because I'm worthy of that. And so are you. So do what brings you joy. Bring yourself to the table of what experiences make you feel ecstatic. And as silly as that may sound, that just these people that, from Duxbury, Massachusetts, just blow my mind and make me a fangirl. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's silly or not. What matters is my excitement about it. What matters is how I feel about it. What matters is what I manifest from that feeling. Because your feelings, your beliefs, everything, all that signal, all that energy around you is creating the life that you are in. So do you want it to be fun? Do you want it to be joyful? Do you want it to be exciting? Find things that you are excited about. I am really, really passionate about waking people the frick up. I am really just over people who are dead to life, who are not living their lives to their fullest potential. They're just meh. And I don't ever want to live meh, because recognizing that every single day is precious and doing the most that I can to get the most out of this journey is what I'm interested in. And if you're listening to this, I'm guessing that's what you're interested in too. And it doesn't come without fear. It doesn't come without having to walk through things that activate and strengthen your faith. It doesn't come without up-leveling your confidence, your self-esteem, and your worthiness in this world. But check this out. You won't experience self-esteem or confidence until you do the big, scary things, because those are the things that show you. Those are the things that show your power. You have to exercise your power in order to see it. Energy begets energy. Anytime you bring energy, you bring that force of life to the table, you will be met with the force of life. And that life force is all about pleasure and love and excitement and freedom and good times, about having a great time with people, about being excited about life. So if you don't have anything right now that you're excited about, start looking, start asking yourself, what would be in my highest excitement? That's kind of how I run my day. I'm very blessed to have a life where I can do that, where I run my day in what would be in my highest excitement right now. And of course, we all have things to do. We all have laundry and dinner to make and things like that. But if you can take those things and infuse a little bit of excitement in them, they actually become more. I get pretty excited about dinner when I am not in the element of, ugh, what is for dinner? Or they want dinner every night. Listen, I've been cooking dinner every night for like 38 years. Yeah, like maybe a little less than that. Yeah, maybe more like 30, 35 years of cooking dinner. And of course, we go out sometimes, thankfully. But when I'm in the energy of, ooh, let me see what I have. Let me see what I can pull together. Let me see what beauty I can create. Let me see what love I can infuse into this beautiful, healthy food that I get to eat, that I get to share with my family. That's a shift. That's a shift that actually creates beautiful meals and more excitement and more energy in my life around dinner, around something that can be monotonous and minutia. Dishes, laundry, vacuuming, all of those things can be heavy and dreaded, just like your job, just like making money, just like taking care of someone. Those can all be dread and minutia, or they can all be shifted into gratitude. I get to do this. I get to make dinner tonight. I get to have beautiful food in my refrigerator. I get to have beautiful people that love me to serve dinner to. I get to have clean clothes, right? Stay up on your laundry, people. Don't let the laundry get out of control. That's when it becomes really hard. Do your laundry every day. That's my life hack. Today, that's my biggest life hack for you. Do your laundry every day. Get excited about making dinner. Do your laundry every day. If you do one load every day, wash, dried, fold, put away like that, laundry is not a problem. It's not an issue. That was my public service announcement for today. All right, I'm going to close up the show, but I appreciate you for being here, and I appreciate all the loving souls who bought my book. You can send $20 to Venmo if you would like a Mindful Manifestation Secrets. Just message me somewhere, livelifegolden@gmail, or on Facebook, or Instagram is livelifegolden with a Y. Because I need your address. So you got to send me your address, and I will send you a personal message in this very short book. It's 85 pages that you will go through very fast, but it is powerful. It is powerful. I have a lot of manifestation stories from people reading this book because it wakes them up to remembering who they are. I have a live event coming up in Laguna Beach on March 5th. Very excited, from 7 to 8:30. The tickets are only $55. get in there, get your spot, because there's only limited seating. And the consideration of doing this is because I want people to be in my energy field. I want you to meditate with me. I want you to visualize with me. I want you to hear this information in the energy field that actually transforms. Being on this show with you, I'm sure you can feel it. Being in person with me, totally different thing. Totally different thing. Like I beam it out like laser beams so that you can feel the uptick in your vibration, so that you will leave that room elevated and a different person. You will, I promise. I swear by it. I've seen many people experience those live events with me and then create amazing things after. So I want you to know I love you all. I'm so happy that you were here with me, and I'll see you soon. Peace out.